Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Drake, and as you can tell by the title of the video and why you're here, this is the Benelli Super Black Eagle 3. Now, today is not going to be a review per se, but what I am going to do, and I'm going to take my little handy-dandy cheat sheet slash sticky note here, we're going to go over what the package includes. We're going to discuss the features and handling, as well as reliability and general hunt experience so far. I have had this shotgun since the beginning of November, so we're going into its third month right now of, I guess you could say, testing and evaluation, but general hunting and fun shooting. It has, as of right now, completely benched the Benelli Vinci, and that's solely because it is the new toy and I want to play with it. So the Vinci is a great shotgun. We'll talk about that one too sometime, maybe soon. And just give a general overview right now. I would keep in touch with the channel. If you're not subscribed, subscribe now. You'll also get an update about where I might go outside of YouTube to continue producing videos for fun and for education for people to hear my experience with firearms and other assorted goods. So enough of that gabbing, but let's get on to it. The box does open up a little bit opposite from what you would experience. I actually opened it up backwards the first time I did so. When you're looking at the logo should read away from you because the latches open downwards instead of upwards as you would typically expect. You get a very nice case, very, very nice hard case. It doesn't have any eyelets for locks, so this is not going to be something that you can travel on a plane with, but it is a very nice case. And when I say it doesn't have eyelets for locks, I mean it doesn't have what would be TSA approved locks, so you can't go flying with this. If you do need to lock it up, maybe you don't have a safe, or maybe you're hunting camp and there's kids around or something, you just want to lock the shotgun up, whatever your case may be, there are two little eyelets in here that you can get either a small lock or a really skinny long padlock on to keep somebody from just popping open the case and grabbing the gun. Anyhow, the only thing you'll have on the top of the case besides this nice burlap is your warranty stuff and your instruction manual. Comes in about 20 different languages. No, I joke, it actually comes in about 5 different languages you've got there. So if you speak French, Russian, German, Italian, or American English, this book has got you covered. It's actually a really good instruction manual. Gives you a lot of good information, and it does show a slug barrel version of the Super Black Eagle 3. So whether that's just concept art they gave us to tease, or if they're actually going to release a slug barrel anytime soon, I guess we'll find out. SHOT Show is coming up at the time of this video. But I do digress. You will get a nice choke tube case. Comes with a total of 5 choke tubes. One will be in the gun. Typically it is the modified extended choke tube. You'll also get 3 shims extra, as well as an additional plate that controls cast and drop. I have the largest measurements for cast, drop in the shotgun right now to fit me, because I'm a little bit larger. Oh, and one other thing that is really, really nice is it comes with the Benelli choke tube wrench. It has a thread cleaner on one end, wrench on the other, sliding handle. This is an exceptional tool, and I really do like it. I didn't get one with my Vinci because it was the limited model and it didn't come with anything but the gun. So it came with the gun and had the choke tube in it, and that was it. I've actually decided to not run the stock chokes because the waterfowl loads that I use actually pattern the best out of the aftermarket chokes I bought, which are Carlson exterminators or cremators. Pardon me, they're the cremator, but it's the Heavy Shot brand. So they're the same price, they're Heavy Shot, there's not really much different. There's 3 stud rings in there, very minor rings that help retard the wad. They're ported choke tubes. They come in an unported variant and as well as a flush fit variant, and they are exceptional. I have the turkey, the decoy or moderate or medium range choke, as well as the extended range. So improved cylinder, improved, modified, extra full. Pretty much do everything you need to with a shotgun with those 3 chokes, but now I've got a bunch in case I want to do something else. Anyhow, you'll have your barrel on the top, your gun on the bottom. Let's just get this girl together real quick. This barrel nut, this thing is really nice with the features they've added to it. It's not round, it's, I guess you'd say, triangular in shape, more of a 3-pointed star kind of thing. But I don't know what kind of geometry you would really call this, but it actually does help you get this thing on and off really quickly, especially if you're cold or if you're just needing to check to make sure it's tight. Really, really nice feature of the gun. I find the best way to put the gun together, once I have it ready to go, of course, is to take the charging handle out, make sure the bolt is locked back, and that will allow you to just slip the barrel right on. I can't remember what the manual recommends, but I think it says to have it all the way forward, which you can do, but I find that this is a bit easier. Once it clicks together, get your barrel nut, let that sucker screw on. Now, it doesn't let you spin it quite as easy as a round nut does, but it definitely secures better. One thing I will comment on really quick is that because of the way the serrations on this barrel nut are oriented, it means it digs into your hand as you loosen the nut. You want to break the nut to get it off the gun, and they slip once you're tight enough on the nut to secure the barrel. Really nice feature, really smart, well thought out. Of course, reinsert your charging handle, which I find on mine was really tight to begin with. Now it's perfect. It's not too loose, it's not too firm. I mean, it does take effort to get it out, so it's not going to come flying out in the field while you're shooting, but it's definitely not going to be a pain in the butt to strip while you do it. Of course, the more you do it, the more it's going to loosen up, but nice feature there. Bolt release, it's now long. It does stick out at the back, and you can use the back of it to launch the bolt home. It is very, very stiff when you first take the shotgun out of the box. Of course, that's my experience, but it's relatively easy to activate. Not as big or as easy as the Vinci series, but nonetheless, it's very functional, and it is a little bit bigger than the Super Black Eagle 1 and 2. All right, well, I'm kind of getting into features here, so let me grab my little cheat sheet and let's start talking about those features since we've gone over the package. Oh, and of course you get your little inertia-driven system sticker. Forgot about that. And your Benelli oil bottle, which actually is really good oil. Not preferred by myself over Safariland CLP, but if you want to keep your Benelli smelling like a Benelli, then use the Benelli oil, or the Benoil is it's titled. All right, features and handling. So, updates over the other Super Black Eagles. You see it in all of their marketing: the easy locking bolt, the Comfort Tech 3 stock system. You've got the enlarged shell port, lift gate is extended. There's some features on this that they don't really target in marketing that I think really make it an Eagle, but make it the 3. It's defined. The 2 was kind of more of just an update of the 1. The 3 is almost like a completely new bird. It is a new generation of shotgun. And by the way, their Dominate the Skies thing, although kind of hokey, freaking brilliant. And as you can tell, I am a Hokie, so that stuff kind of works on me, obviously. But yeah, so pointability, let's just get that out of the way, because primarily when you're picking up a scattergun and you're looking for something new, it needs to fit you. For myself, I'm a 6'3" individual. I have a very large wingspan. I have fairly large hands, although they are skinny. The grip, the stock length that comes as is the gun, and the general size of the shotgun, and this is a 28-inch barrel model, of course, fits exceptionally. Now again, this is adjusted for drop and cast for my body, but out of the box it was pretty dang close, but not quite close enough. I noticed it was shooting a little bit high when I didn't mount the gun perfectly, so I threw the drop-in cast down into the right a little bit, and lo and behold, boom, perfect sight picture every time, especially when I close and open my eyes. Close, open, there's the bead, dead center, no problems. And I don't see any of the top flat. Let's see, next thing. Oh, the finish on this is the Gore Optifade Timber, and I actually wanted to wait for this model to come out. I think it's just a really cool, different finish, and excuse my burp there, but really, really nice finish. Very durable finish so far. It has been banged around. In fact, my fault, I knocked my Super Black Eagle 3 into my cousin's husband's Super Black Eagle 3. They kind of kissed and made a little ground love as they fell, and they both got a couple little tiny dingers in them, but considering two guns banged into each other, they're looking pretty sharp. I do have a small dinger on the receiver as well as a little scuff on the barrel, but those were actually significant acts of, oh crap, I just ran my gun into something again. So I don't baby equipment, but I use it. I do take care of my equipment, so when stuff gets damaged or falls apart on me, I kind of don't get mad at myself as much as I do just feel disappointed in the product I bought. The Benelli series of shotguns, every offering they have, they're really bomb-proof, so I'm not quite worried about that. I know I could make it look like crap and wear the hell out of it, but I do take care of my equipment. I do treat it properly, but it is a tool. I bought it for a purpose, and the purpose is not to be a safe queen or a status symbol. The purpose is to kill ducks and geese. And where those birds are very harsh environments. You trip, you fall, you bang things around, you spend a lot of money for a little bit of meat and experience and a lot of cussing at blue or gray skies. But that's what it's all about, and that's why I'm addicted to it. With that point, I'd like to say that this isn't just a waterfowl shotgun. While it is meant for waterfowlers, this gun is at home with pretty much any purpose you have for a shotgun. Granted, home security or defensive work would be a little bit challenging with a 28 or 26 inch barrel, but I'm sure a 24 inch will be offered at some point in the future, and it's an exceptional gun for that nonetheless, so long as you're not walking around in super confined spaces. Then it becomes kind of a long sword with no edge. I digress though. Let's see. This is not just a 3.5 inch ethos. So one thing I do want to say is that this is a summation of a lot of guns, in my opinion. When I handle and when I use and when I look at the Super Black Eagle 3, what I see is the Vinci series. I see the M2 series. I see the Ethos and the Ultralight series, which the Ethos was born from. I see the Super Black Eagle series, primarily, of course, but all of those guns seem to have given something to this shotgun. I look at the grip and I look at a little bit of the workings of the Super Black Eagle 3, and I see some influence from the Vinci. I see a little bit of the lines there. When I look at the general overview, I see the M2, I see the Ethos, I see the Ultralight, I see this classic styled shotgun. When I look down the sights, I guess you could say, when I pick the gun up and shoulder it and feel it, I can kind of taste that Super Black Eagle. I can see it down the rib, sight picture with the small beads, the slightly fatter rib. At least it feels that way because the beads are that tiny. It's an eagle. It's just a different eagle. And there's some guys that take exception to that. Some guys don't like the handguard. I know one. I have the pleasure of being able to hunt with him sometimes. And he carries around his first year of the Super Black Eagle 2 with pride. It's been through hell and back. It's an excellent shotgun. It works for him like a damn mule. And he says he doesn't like the way the forearm feels, and he just doesn't like the general essence of the 3, which is fine. There's going to be a lot of guys who are diehard Super Black Eagle 2 fans that won't like this. gas gun guys, the Maxis guys, the SX3, SX4 guys, the name your gas gun, the Remington Versamax guys, which Benelli M4, excuse me, they're probably not going to go, yeah, the SBE3, that's where it's at. I'm dropping everything else and picking it up. No, this gun wasn't made to convert or appease them. This gun is a Super Black Eagle. You want it or you don't. You like it, but you don't buy it, or you can't stand to not live without it, so you buy it. I mean, it's one or the other. It's not a gray in between kind of gun. It is an expensive gun. You're looking at an MSRP for this particular model of about $18.99 or $19.99, and your street price is going to be $17.99. That's just the way it is. Give it a few years, probably come down a little bit, but if you want a brand new Super Black Eagle out of the box with a 10-year warranty and all the fancy paperwork and greatness that you've just seen here, you're going to pay for it. Let's see, comfort, exceptional comfort. The ComfortTech 3 stock system is your primary feature on this gun. I think really brings it into a new era of Benelli shotgun with the addition of the Ethos style locking detent with the easy lock bolt here, which is really, once you start shooting the shotgun and it starts breaking itself in, you can't get this guy to really stay. See, I can't get it to stay open. I really can't. It's just the summation of features, really, really fantastic shotgun. I'm enamored with it, and I'm enamored with it after my glowing wonder of, oh, new shotgun kind of awesomeness after I bought it wore off. About a week and a half, 2 weeks later, I'm like, all right, time to see what this girl's made of. Really start feeling her out, accepting if there's anything bad and considering the good. And one thing I do pick on it about is the ComfortTech 3, the cheek piece, nice and soft, plenty of chevrons here, plenty of flex in the stock, especially with heavy loads, but the pad is hard. Now, I did try it with my Vinci. You can swap it out with a Vinci pad, which means pretty much any ComfortTech pad that you get your hands on, you can swap into this gun. So if you get an original ComfortTech pad that's the gel type that like to kind of swell up with water and get all mangly, which they did fix eventually, but if you like the softness of that pad, I think you can swap it out and not miss it. But it is a nice pad. It does have this kind of eagle feather pattern on the butt, which you can see there, and which is also on the forend, also on the pistol grip. Really, I keep saying that it's just fantastic because of the summation of features, and it is. And you've probably, if you're looking up videos of the Super Black Eagle, you've seen a lot of stuff going over it. So I'm not going to waste time on saying, here's this, here's that, here's this. I'm going to say, look at Michael Payne's video, which is his review of the Super Black Eagle 3. And one thing that he says, and I completely agree with it, is that the Super Black Eagle is not just a list of features. It's really a summation of its parts. Everything about this shotgun comes together to make it the Super Black Eagle 3, to make it the best shotgun Benelli has produced so far. And I love the Vinci series, and I'm getting to the point where I think I can honestly state that I think that this is the best Benelli shotgun they ever produced. Guys will disagree with me, but you know, when it comes to what makes a shotgun perfect for me, it's all subjective. What I'm going to try and do is tell you objective data points and things, then the subjective points I like about it, to give you an idea of whether or not you will like it. So with that, I'm going to move into the reliability. I'm going to tell you right off the bat, I did have one malfunction, putting the reliability of this gun so far at 99.99998%, whatever you want to call it. I came up out of the blind at a lone goose, probably about 15 yards over the top of my head. It was a directly vertical shot. I fired. It was a 3-inch, 1.25 ounce #1 shot, heavy steel. Smoked the bird, bird's dropping. Immediately, the action didn't quite feel right to me, so I kind of glanced at it, saw that it was a stovepipe, did an offhand swipe, grabbed that shell and hucked it. The bolt immediately went forward and locked up on a live shell. It was fine. It was good to go, but why it locked up, why it gave a stovepipe, I have no clue. I think it was some sort of gremlin in the gun. I'm going to say the gun is still new. That isn't an excuse for that to happen with hunting ammo though, but I digress. I have gotten this gun to fail by outrunning the speed of the bolt. I have a very quick trigger finger and I get a lot of hammer follow on guns that are slower. Shotguns generally don't cycle as fast as rifle or handguns, so it's pretty easy for me to find when they will cough. And inertia guns are definitely not as fast as gas, and I can still get a gas gun to cough or lock up on the trigger. So, it's all about timing. Of course, I've never shot 930 or a JM Pro Series, the Michelin style, but I'm pretty good at making a shotgun cough when I want to. Pump guns, everything. I can make a shotgun shut up, basically. I have the knack of doing that. But really, unless you're running something stupid light in a 12 gauge like a 7/8 ounce or a 1 ounce at really low velocity, I would say that if you stay 1 1/8 ounce, as they recommend, with pretty much any dram, so long as it's at least going 1050 or 1100 feet per second, you'll probably get great recycling out of it. If you've got a 1 ounce load at 1200 feet per second or greater, don't run your pet hand load, whatever, because it's just not going to cycle it. If it's super light, if it's meant to be in a 16 or a 20 gauge bore, use that bore. This is a 12 gauge and it's a 3.5 inch Magnum hunting gun. So no, it's not going to cycle your 1100 foot per second 7/8 ounce load. Sorry. Guys that say that, they kind of annoy me, but take it with a grain of salt, what everybody says, unless they're giving you absolute data on, hey, this shell should cycle. This is why it doesn't, or it doesn't cycle and this is why it should. But not just, oh, it doesn't cycle low brass. This thing eats low brass for breakfast and then poops 3.5. I mean, it just runs absolutely everything I put in it. And I don't have that many rounds through it, so it'll be a continual update of how this gun does. But we did have that one hiccup, and this thing does exceptionally well. In fact, it actually eats low brass a little bit better than the Vinci does. The Vinci can be a little bit particular about the brands that I put in it. But this thing really chews stuff up. And when I say particular with the brands, if it's really cheap, crappy ammunition, this thing seems to do a little bit better with it. Not by much, but a little bit better as far as, cycling. And when I say reliability and only having the one problem, I mean that everything I expect it to run perfect with, it does run perfect with. If there is a load that I'm like, yeah, they're just putting into the gun because it's the cheapest thing I got, I don't expect not to have hiccups with freaking $4 a box of 25 Federal or Winchester Target loads. There's probably going to be a dud somewhere in a case. I've experienced that with a State multiple times this past year. Let's see. It's had exceptional performance with patterning, especially when I put the heavy shot, which are Carlson choke tubes in it. It loves number 1s, number 3s, and BB, which my Vinci does as well. Number 2s give okay patterns out of the Carlson choke tubes. I saw that number 2s did exceptionally well and I'm talking steel, with the improved cylinder for decoy pattern, but the spread was a little bit larger than I would have liked out past 25 yards. And I had inconsistent clusters with the modified choke tube with number 3s, 4s, and 1s. So I put in the heavy choke, took it out of the Benelli Vinci, put it in this, and the extended range actually patterns 3s, 1s, 2s, and BB really, really well. 2s not as consistently well, but the odd numbers seem to do the trick. Any other points? I think that's pretty much it. Again, this is just kind of an update video, and if you like what you see, please hit subscribe. I'll keep you updated. We'll be comparing this shotgun against the Vinci, of course, its brother, I guess you could say. We'll be comparing against the Winchester SX4, and we will continue down the line with great gun reviews and talking points about the firearms I find interesting. If you have any questions, post them in the comments below. As always, everyone, God bless, keep your powder dry, and stay safe.